What kind of game launches with no rank? No, I'm joking, guys. I'm not going to start this review out with a crash out, but I am going to give you my honest thoughts about this game. Now, what I will say to start with is that this review is not going to include story mode. Not because story mode is bad, but this review is for the fighting portion of this Bleach game because it's very clearly marketed at people that play fighting games on the daily. So I want to focus on that. What I will say about story mode is that it's good. It's not paced the best. It's a little bit slow in the beginning, but it does pick up. There are plenty of reasons to play story mode. Plenty of reasons. But if you've never seen Bleach before, do not use this game as a marker for the Bleach franchise. It won't do it justice. It's okay, but it's certainly no Budokai and it's definitely no Ninja Storm. So it's alright, you can give it a try, but don't expect a 10 out of 10 story. Definitely go and watch it on Disney Plus or Crunchyroll or wherever it's streaming. Now, you guys know that I keep it 100 at all times, and I'm sorry if I'm going to disappoint some people with what I'm about to say. But I absolutely love this game, but I am so disappointed by it at the same time. How is that even possible? Well, let me start off on a positive note. The combat in this game is amazing. They really did nail the combat. It's so much fun. I played it for like 7 hours yesterday. I did not get bored. As a matter of fact, it's one of the only fighting games where I've been excited to go around the roster and actually try loads of characters. Usually people that come to my streams know that I play 1 or 2 characters per fighting game and I just don't move from them. I don't have real interest in learning loads of characters. Whereas this game, I went around the entire roster and I was like, wow, there's a lot of fun, different characters in this game. I mean, everybody's unique. You play everybody completely differently. So the combat has really won me over, which is the most important part of the game in my opinion. The combat is solid, and so the foundation of this Bleach game in terms of gameplay is there. It's solid. I would recommend that they continue down this path and continue expanding upon it. It's very, very easy to get into. I don't know why people are saying that it's very complex. I think when people look at the screen, they're like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? Because we haven't really seen anything like this before. But it's not a complex game to get into. It does have a lot of nuances too, and everybody plays differently, so you can't use one character and expect to know how to use the next character. But the good thing is that there's no execution barrier whatsoever. A monkey could do combos on this game, so if you're watching combo videos on YouTube and you're thinking to yourself that it's going to be difficult for you to jump into, it really won't be. You can learn combos very, very easily. There are some here and there that might require a little bit tighter timing, but for the most part, and again, this is aimed at people that play fighting games, this is going to be a very, very easy transition for you. It's not Tekken or Street Fighter or Guilty Gear or even Mortal Kombat. This is much more simple and much more streamlined in terms of combos. That doesn't mean there isn't combo variety though. You can definitely come up with your own little strings and whatever, but it's not difficult is what I'm trying to say. As I mentioned earlier, there is very, very strong character diversity. We went around the roster yesterday on the live stream and we had a blast with all the characters and they played very differently. The only character that I think really sucks in this game, and I don't know if he sucks in terms of being on a tier list that low placing, but he is extremely boring to play, is Chad. I can't get behind Chad. I'm sorry for all the Chad users out there. Maybe you guys know something I don't, but I've played every character in this game and Chad is just, I don't know what they were thinking. But outside of that, all the other characters are really cool, so in my opinion, that is a massive W. Where this game lacks in execution, it makes up for in the spacing, the general neutral, and mind games as a whole. This game is heavy on the mind games, and if you're good at playing mind games with people in fighting games, if you're good at tricking people into doing things, if you're good at controlling the pace of a game, you're gonna love this game. There's also no real combat mechanics in this game unless you're using a character that can reawaken, and I think that is exclusive to Aizen, Ulquiorra, Ichigo, and maybe one other character, the zesty Espada, I can't remember what his name is, you know, the one that swallows his sword. Other than that, I don't think there's too many other characters that can reawaken, and that essentially acts as a comeback mechanic for those specific characters. But there's not a universal combat mechanic in this game. How you decide to approach the fight is what can get you back into the game. There are conventional ways to approach the fight, and then there are doing things that might take a little bit longer for a payoff, but they have a bigger payoff. For example, if you take somebody to the red bar and then you use the slash attack to go into your super attack, you often find yourself getting 2 konpaku from that opponent. But if you wait and you actually soul break, which is essentially getting rid of their entire life bar, you'll get an extra konpaku on top of that, and that can increase or decrease depending on the character, where you are in the fight, and what you've done during the fight. And again, it's going to depend on the character that you are using. So character diversity and how you can approach the game, they nailed it. It's really, really fun. It's a very, very good starting point. There are things that need to be fixed, don't get me wrong. There are glitches across the board. One of my characters, Yamamoto, he's my secondary character. He suffers from a couple of glitches as well. Some of them benefit him, some of them don't. So for a game that had no beta testing whatsoever, they didn't do a bad job, and I find it highly addictive. However, that is where the fun stops of this game. Thank God that the combat is good, and thank God that I have a community that I can just call upon to play this game, because if you don't have a community around you, if you don't have a bunch of friends that can play this offline with you, if you don't have people in your vicinity that you can call out to join your lobbies, this game is going to be very rough for you. Now, it's been different for every person. I played it yesterday for about 4 hours on stream, and then I played Perfect Legend on his stream for 2 hours, and I played King J on his stream for 2 hours. My experience was positive in terms of connection. Like when we got into the game, in all of those 7 hours, there was one match where we got a spike of lag. Actually two, sorry. There was against a Soifun player and against a Shinji player. But that was it. In the whole 7 hours, I didn't experience any button delay or any lag spikes, which was very impressive. However, just because that happened to me does not mean it's the whole truth. And the fact of the matter is that people are experiencing so many lag issues in this game that I just got lucky. And it would be disingenuous for me to sit here and say it's internet issues, that there's no issues because I didn't get any. There are serious issues with the netcode in this game. That is objectively true, and anybody saying otherwise is lying. I know somebody that has as good internet as me because he lives very close to me, and we play Tekken together, we play all sorts of fighting games together, and I watched him fighting people and it looked like he was going through a slideshow. I also went to other people's streams to see what was going on, and I could see that there was a lot of lag. It's not people that have bad internet, although I'm sure there are some of those, it happens, but it was happening way too much. The netcode on this game is absolutely abysmal, and I'm actually shocked that it never happened to me in the 7 hours that I was playing the game. And I count my lucky blessings because it was a lot of fun. And I was playing with people all over Europe, America, Canada, so I got lucky, but that is not the entire truth. On top of that, there is no ranked mode in this game. Now, I know that people have apparently leaked that rank is in the game, but the fact of the matter is that ranked is not playable right now, and we have not been given a date of when it will become available. So people are assuming it's going to be soon because it's been leaked in the game, but we just don't know. And if I'm being a fair reviewer, I have to sit here and give you the facts, and the fact of the matter is that there's no ranked. What I do want to say to the people that are saying that this game doesn't need ranked, if you love Bleach and you want to see Bleach do well, please don't glaze it like this. Please don't try to cover up the bad things about this game. A fighting game not having ranked, you might not care about it. You might be somebody that doesn't want to play ranked, but the fact of the matter is that fighting games need a ranked mode. Anybody saying otherwise either doesn't play fighting games, wants to see this game fail, or you are so blinded by your love for the franchise that you'll say anything in defense of it. And make no mistake, it's not a defense of the game when you break it down. You are killing the game by putting messages out there to Tamsoft and Bandai Namco saying it doesn't need ranked. If you want this game's player base to grow, and it can grow because the gameplay is good, you need to tell them that this game needs the ranked mode active immediately. On top of that, it needs a spectator mode. Once again, I'm very lucky that I have a community that I can stream to, so it doesn't affect us as badly as it would somebody that's just playing with their friends. But in no spectator mode is absolutely unacceptable. It is 2025. How does this keep on happening? How did you put so much work into the gameplay? That is so much fun, and I can't applaud you enough for what you've done with the game, considering it feels very unique and very fresh, and then overlook key features that allow us to enjoy that. This game can be competitive, it can be, but that won't last if there's no ranked mode, and it certainly won't last with no spectator mode. Those are things that we need ASAP. Before any DLC characters, before anything else, ranked and spectator need to come first. I can't stress that enough. I really need people to take their subjectivity out of this equation. It doesn't matter how you feel, and ultimately it doesn't matter how I feel. I'm not speaking from a place of wanting myself to have it. I'm speaking from a place of experience, knowing that fighting games need it. So hopefully Tamsoft gets their act together, because it's not like they haven't done a ranked mode before. That needs to show up immediately, followed by spectator mode. It is unacceptable that you would launch a game without these key features, and they are key features for a fighting game. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. You do have free battle, but free battle for me didn't work. I saw some other people playing free battle. I saw them getting matches quickly, and then I saw other people not getting any matches, I saw some people getting matches, but there was extreme amounts of lag. In my case, I have waited an hour and 10 minutes for a free battle, and I couldn't get one. I was sitting here texting Perfect Legend and texting King J saying, bro, I can't get a match. Do you guys want to play? An hour and 10 minutes. I went downstairs, made some food, made plans with my boys to go out and eat today, did a bit of video editing, and still I was looking at the screen going, where are the matches? And again, you guys know that I really want to like this game. Like, I want to like it because when you actually get into a fight, it's amazing. I want to sit here and say, yeah, everybody jump on Bleach. But I can't sit here and lie. There's no point in lying. It would do me no favors. They put a lot of work into the story mode, which is good, you know. I don't think it's the best story mode in an anime fight, but it's good. But this is a fighting game. Those things need to come secondary. What a fighting game needs to survive is obviously a good combat system, which Tamsoft has nailed. It's a good combat system. It's a lot of fun. Minus Dangai Ichigo and Aizen. I was going to play Aizen. I was actually going to use him. And then I started playing him. And I realized that he is absolutely busted. And, you know, I have no problem if you want to use Aizen. You know, we're just having fun here. It's not that deep. But Aizen and Dangai Ichigo, I watched somebody the other day saying how good he was at the game, and I saw him that his main was Dangai Ichigo, and I said to him, listen bro, it's okay, you can play the character, no problem. But I've been playing fighting games for a long time, and I know busted when I see it. If you're beating people with Dangai Ichigo or Aizen, then good for you, but it's not a marker of skill. I just had to get that out there. But outside of those two, the gameplay's fine. It's very, very good. So how is it you designed this game with this gameplay which you nail, but then you miss the other elements? So you need strong gameplay, you got that. You have no tournament modes in a fighting game, and don't get me wrong, other fighting games don't have tournament modes either, and I don't know how the developers continuously overlook this, since tournaments are very good at holding over the player base. We are a very competitive scene after all. It is a fighting game. There's no league mode. Virtua Fighter still continues to be the only one that has incorporated this, and it's a fantastic mode, and I really wish other developers would look into this, because league again is really good for the player base. It increases longevity. We want Bleach to have longevity. This is a good anime fighting game at its core, but everything surrounding it has failed. You didn't add clan battles to the game. Again, this is another thing where I'm like, these are basic things that should be in all fighting games. You can add a nice story mode to it, don't get me wrong, but I understand there's a lot of time and resources that go into crafting a story that can be better used elsewhere. And of course, the most basic of features, ranked and spectator, are not there. So you did a lot of things that didn't need to be done, or specifically one thing where story mode had a lot of time and energy put into it. And the gameplay and the music, oh, by the way, the music in this game, absolutely phenomenal. Of all fighting games that I've played, and I can say this, hand on my heart, of all fighting games that I've played, this might be the best in terms of music. Like, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. Presentation, in my opinion, fantastic. The menus look beautiful. When you're in story mode and they're breaking the story down for you, the artwork, the art direction, the graphics that come up on screen, the super attacks in this game, the way music starts playing for some super attacks, the way awakenings trigger different soundtracks, so you're constantly getting different music in the game. It's all fantastic. You nailed all of that. So could you please nail the things that need to support that? You need to fix the glaring problems of this game, because I do not want to see this game die, but I cannot in good faith recommend this game to people right now. And that is where I'm going to end the review. I cannot recommend Bleach Rebirth of Souls to people, and that pains me to say, because as soon as I finish putting this up, I'm going to go and play it, because the gameplay is so good. But it takes more than that to have a successful fighting game in 2025. And Tamsoft and Bandai Namco dropped the ball. This is one of the worst releases for a game, and first impressions really count, and you guys fumbled. But it's not out of the realms of possibility to fix this. It's still early days, and Bleach has come back. It has a lot of good favor with the anime community, and as I said, the gameplay is good enough to get someone like me who nitpicks everything to jump on, even though the infrastructure is as bad as humanly possible. So there's a way back here. You guys can fix this. And if you are Bleach fans out there, do not blindly glaze this game. You should want what's best for this game and call the issues as you can see them. I really hope that Bandai Namco and Tamsoft realize that they have something special here, and they've created something that is worth praising. You've just made it incredibly hard for someone like me to sell this game to people, and I don't need to be paid for it. I don't need to be in someone's good graces. If you provide me with a good game, I will tell people there's a good game there. You're almost there. You got the gameplay. You need to fix everything else around it. But that's where I'll leave my review. Did it live up to the hype? Yes and no. If you isolate the gameplay, yes. No if you count everything else as a game. So overall, I guess you could say no, unfortunately. It sucks. It really does suck that I have to say this because I want to big it up. I really, really do. But it's unacceptable in the state that it's been released. I know that might not be what some people wanted to hear. I know that I've been praising the game a lot, but I did say before it came out that if there were glaring problems, I was not going to lie to my audience or anybody watching. And I'm certainly not going to do what I've seen people doing on Reddit and telling people, oh, don't worry about playing online, just go play story mode. This is a fighting game, guys, okay? We want it to be considered in the same vein as other big fighting games. If you want it to be considered in the same vein as other big fighting games, you need to treat it that way. Because once story mode is done, that's it. All we have is the online. And that is true for all fighting games. And unfortunately, right now, Bleach Rebirth of Souls is near unplayable online for majority of the player base.